Hello and welcome to the next episode. Well, we have left off with conquests here and the defense on Mars. And if we look at the fleet overview here, we see that they are moving a lot of ships to Silver Knife Station here. And they are probably going to form up a new fleet to attack us somewhere. And let's see which that will be. So we can see here they have already ships at Silver Knife. 5. Oh, 8. So let's see how big the fleet will be that they're going to send at us soon. And we are ready on Earth though. And the focus of this episode will probably be consolidation, which I'm not going to show because it's relatively boring. Instead, expansion of Earth science here and going into certain Earth projects here and trying to hunt down even further buffs to investments that we can take care of. Like, for example, we have maglev trains currently going on, which is going to give us an economy investment bonus. All of those will be really juicy, combined with also the fusion bonus here and the administration algorithm bonus. And this will therefore make our nations here faster developed. We will be able to develop them a lot faster than we currently are. And of course, the restructuring of the whole power brokerage here in the Middle East will also continue, but we are leaning backwards a bit currently. We are not doing caliphate or anything like this for now. Instead, focus on India first here, and then all of this. And yeah, let's see where we get with that, because India is relatively stable and can be expanded, I think, pretty fast. And we do have really good stats then, because we're almost at 1000 science now, which will only go up, up, and up. So let's see where this episode will bring us. What will it bring us, and how far do we get in one big, let's say, time jump here. Okay, so almost a year has passed, because I intentionally skipped some time here now. And I just want to summarize what has happened in between. I have pretty much cleaned up all of Europe and annexed it into the EU. I also moved most of the claims that the Turkestan Union has into it from Russia. I also started moving claims from Russia towards the EU here. And in the meanwhile, I'm now preparing the big switcheroo on Africa, Caliphate, and India, which will solve the Middle East problems to a certain degree. So the goal of this is that I'm going to merge this bit here into Africa, and then make a new caliphate here in Arabia, and start expanding this one later. I think I mentioned that earlier in one of the episodes already. Although I have to say that the caliphate will be relatively small afterwards, after all, because it will basically only be this bit here. That's the only thing we can unify here. It's not a lot. But yeah, I'm still satisfied with that. We could, of course, instead done something like merging all of this into the African Union. But the problem with that is that we can still do it very, very late game if it comes to this. The problem here are mostly the cohesion problems, because all of this would be hostile. And it's not a lot of population to justify this. So instead, I'm going to just merge up the African Union as good as possible, and then build a big India here, if possible. And I think, so that's what I thought for a while there, or that's what I'm going to do, is I'm not going to annex Pakistan into India here anytime soon. Instead, I'm going to put it into the caliphate here, and then I can feed one claim after the other to India. I think that's a bit more stability friendly. I'm also currently farming cohesion values here by intentionally releasing small nations out of Russia here to get rid of some hostile claims on Russia itself, like Kharkiv here, for example, which we can't release though, but we released the Donetsk Republic and we released Ukraine a bit, and we also released Georgia here, which will be for exactly this purpose. And this is going to bump up our science significantly. Also, there hasn't been any action from the aliens so far, but they are building up stuff. I'm just checking my shipyards here. So if we go into the fleet list and the aliens here, they are now up to 112. So they basically tripled their fleet numbers in a year. So what we need to expect now is that they are preparing something to be sent towards Earth or Mars. Like there's a fleet building here, there is a fleet here, and eventually they will feel comfortable to send this against us. And yeah, this is going to happen eventually. And yeah, we have to see how that plays out. So the general idea here of the cohesion farming is pretty simple. We get cohesion when we declare war with someone and you join it. So what's going to happen here now is that we are going to declare war on Georgia here. Yes, we want this. Outpost kit, definitely. Ooh, quantum gaming. Mission control, global unity. In this case, we just do the mission control bonus. Can't hurt.
Things are cooling off.
So let's see how that works out. We're going to see an impact on the science immediately. Not only do the unrest mission here are also helping, but the cohesion will be a much bigger impact, as we can see in a second. Come on. Alright, we're also purging back the servants here. The aliens here are pushing us frequently on Russia, but I guess it's fine. So, we're going to declare war on Georgia here. Yeah, confirm. So we don't want to pull everyone into the war here, because we don't need to, for example, give cohesion to the United Arab League, because they are above it already, above 5. 5 is the best one for science, so we are going to pull in the EU here, yes, and we are already at 963 science. There we go, it's 1000 now. To be exact, it's, I don't know, oh, but we got 131? I don't know. So, India, we don't need to, nope, so decline. African Union, definitely, they have the biggest cohesion problems here. So they also give us a bit more science. Arab League here, we don't need to. And Turkestan also doesn't need to, right? No, decline. And that's what I meant with we are farming cohesion here to get our science as high as possible. We are now at 8.9k science. And India is now contributing 1.1k here. The EU is contributing around 1k. And the Arab League here is 500, and Africa is also close to 500 now. And with the changes that we are going to do here, we're in the next month to unify the Arab League into the African Union. This will give us a massive boost on the Union as well here, or the African Union, which will significantly bump up our science again. So that's going to be pretty juicy as well. In the meanwhile, we have lost temporarily here Iran. I probably will go and take the executive back now, but they are pushing me for some reason the most here. I guess it's because it's the weakest link we own now, because of the fact that most of the other nations we currently control are outside Georgia, which we recently released, are just much bigger. So I guess that's the reason why they focus on Iran, or did focus on Iran. Yeah, that's what we have here now. Pretty solid. A lot of mission control. That's only going up in the future. And yeah, this is pretty real now. And also the benefit of all this is paying off now, because the actions that we have to invest to control all this are going down. we are making larger and larger states here, and the only things left to do are, for example, cleaning up the plants here, again breaking into the servants. We did that in between, took out some alien facilities. We have to make sure that there are no new alien facilities before we again hunt down alien agents whenever they come up. And yeah, and I'm also of course plan to absorb the remnants here of Russia as soon as I can. I'm not sure how to handle the Petropavlovsk and Vladivostok provinces here, but maybe I'm going to just research something here. Maybe I'm going to just research the end of Russia thing. Let's see how that one is called again. It's obsolete probably. End of Russia. Where are we? Start Commonwealth. Dissolution of Russia. And I guess there's the Far East Federation. Yeah, right. Petropavlovsk, Vladivostok, use Shala links. East Federation announced Vladivostok. I'm considering to just release this one. Because it's not a lot of population either. And not a lot of mission control as well. You can see here, so the provinces... Sakhalin here is like 500,000 people, 1 mission control. Petropavlovsk over here, 500,000 people, 1 mission control. And then Vladivostok a bit better with 1 mission control but 4 million people, but it's a colony state. So I think I'm either going to release this one, because if we already get hostile claims from merging this into the EU later. But yeah, I think I'm going to just do this. I'm going to release this one and then merge the rest into the EU and be done with it. If we lose it later on, that's fine. I don't really care. It's too little to be worried about. We have other problems or other nation building to do over here. So, we have reached December, and I want to show one of the fights we currently have ongoing. There are always multiple ones now in the next years to come, probably, because the aliens will now relentlessly send stuff towards us. And yeah, so let's go after this fleet here, which has just arrived on Mars. It's mostly corvettes, destroyers, and so on. So not too big of a problem on paper. We go high wall here, but I'm going to put all the battleships into the center once again. Hey, come on. Like this here. And you go here. And you go here. That didn't work. There we go. And then the Concorde here will go to the center bottom here, right? So, and we are fine with losing a few monitors here due to the fact that we want to get rid of our old ships and replace it by more battleships. I'm going to target this one first here. Let's get in range. Let's see who will flank us, because that will be something we have to deal with separately. If nobody will flank us, this is going to be just a knockout here. Okay, we have to go like this. We focus here. And now let's slow down. Where are they going to flank us? On the left or right? Let's see what they will decide on. That's the most important part now. Because either we have to assign the left side or the right side to deal with them. It looks like they will decide on the left side here. But that's good. And what's that? Okay, I think we are not yet in range for the main fleet here, for the center. But who knows? For now, we don't need to deal with these two here. Instead, we can still focus on the fading nebula here. Yeah, it's a destroyer, that's a good choice. For Yeah, now the main mech shots will start coming in, for which we have the autocannons here. I hope we do have enough point defense available. We probably can't target already away, so we should focus on the Furious Blazer next, because that's a big source of mech shots here. We have to take out all the mech shot sources if we can. Yep, the destroyer is gone, but we have taken a bit of a hit here, so this was actually the right call to retarget through the Blazer. And then Silver Star already is taking damage as well. It's going... Okay, we are taking the... I think the Blazer is also dead, so Silver Star gets a few volleys. Ooh, Fading Star has lasers here. Yeah, the Blazer is gone. That was overkill, actually. So who... Okay, we should start splitting targets now. Like you go here, you go here. Something like this for now, just to split out some of the damage, and you will focus on this one here, up here. So all gone, good. And favorable wind also has to go down. Let's hope that we don't take any unnecessary damage from these flankers now. That would be ideal. Okay, the favorable wind is also down. So this allows us to now send everybody on the two flanker ships here. Only ones who want to be mobile, apparently. I think it would be more dangerous if they all would try to flank here against our pretty immobile fleet. Why are you guys not perfectly oriented towards him? Did you target on someone else? Or maybe you can't anymore. Maybe. No, you can still. But I think you are getting targeted by this guy here. So let's see how quickly our targeting computers level 2. I think we have level 2 only. Let's see, laser engine, ECM2. No, we have level 3 by now on the battleships. Can resolve these issues with these dodging of these ships here. How fast can we find a firing solution here? Ah, at least they have taken damage now. And they are of course in range of the frontal cannons and also the main batteries on the hull of our ships here. So yeah, the Void Sailor is down. Polar Dawn is the only one left here. There we go. Oh, let's just speed up a bit. And this one should go down as well. It's way too close now to dodge all this, yes. Gone. And I think we only took damage, we didn't lose a ship. Oh, one of the monitors is heavily damaged. I don't think I want to repair it though, because we want to get rid of them anyway. So if they got promotions, I'm just going to move stuff out of them. And then that's it. Yeah. We just have only one heavily damaged ship here. Okay, take the fleet. And... yeah. Can we get home? Apparently not. So I'm going to find the stuff here in the Fermi. If they have officers, then I can move them over. And then I'm going to abandon that ship. Meanwhile, I think there is another fleet that is going to the Halo. Yeah, 1.5k. Wow, that's a lot of firepower. There's also this one going to Mars now. And this one. And this one. Yeah, this was Rilling with the fleet we just took out. Titan. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of small stuff. I think the big interesting fight will be this one here in April. These are all small and not very interesting. This one will be, however, complicated. And the Halo fleet here currently is only 5 battleships. And of course we do have the Monitor fleet here, which we moved from the main fleet around Earth. Fleet 2 here. But maybe we need to send a few battleships over to help out. That would be totally possible. I mean, if you were to do this, that would take how much time? Let's see. Oh, only 2 weeks, so that's not too terrible. Only 14 days, basically. So, probably sending over 5 to 10 battleships wouldn't be a problem. Because right now, nothing is flying towards Leo itself. Yeah, let's go. Let's jump forward to this here, probably. Unless I want to cut the episode in between. Depends on what is happening. Okay, so I decided to against showing that battle in April because in fact it was extremely easy. I checked the ship designs of the aliens and it was mostly torpedoes and everything, so these were old ships. There was a much more interesting fight on Mars where a lot of ships had brought mech cannons from the aliens, but I do think that there will be multiple fights like this on the horizon. You can see here that there is another 10 ship fleet flying towards us. These are, I don't know, this design. It's also torpedoes again, so this one is extremely weak, but although there is a Titan and a Dreadnought, okay, so it's a bit more interesting. But of course we do have a very big defensive fleet around Earth here, so that's not a problem, but we should pull some of our capital ships from our Lagrange 2 fleet again. So basically it means that we bring not the flagship, but like this, let's say. We have all the monitors over here, so this is fine. Yeah, the three battleships here, the other one's there. And then we just send this one down to the Earth shipyard here. Because it takes 2.5 weeks, so we always have to keep that in mind. Although the Earth defense fleet here itself is 19 ships, but 10 versus 19 can be a bit dangerous in my opinion, so let's bring another 10 capital ships towards it. Now, why I want to break the episode here, or make a short break, is because we do have a bit of in-between point. So we have reached multiple things. So we are going into fusion and integrated space economy, which will lead into fleet logistics, which will lead into Titans. So this slot here will go to Titans. These two will break open the fusion drives, which we get after we go into magnetic nozzles after this one. And we are already at deuterium fusion, which means that theoretically we would already be at the inertial confinement fusion reactor 2, which means we probably can get to 3 as soon as with the next 2 slots here. And that's already a really good level of drives where we can build decent Titan or battleships depending on what we want to prefer here. With then probably coil guns and later phasers. I also go into transnational management for control points, and we also have the tier 3 modules coming in here because we are upgrading to tier 3 bases here. The first ones have upgraded here, so we can now build them up. But I'm going to do this in between episodes. I'm still waiting for most of the other Mars bases to finish, which will be on the 24th of May. So let's wrap up until there. And also at the same time, we have reached a really nice point here that with advice, we are now above 10,000 science. And most of that is coming actually from Earth. You can see here 187 from nations compared to 33 from HEPs and 24 from councillors. So we have a massive Earth-based science here. And if we check out where it comes from, you can see here that India is leading with 1.4k due to the advice. Europe has 1.2k, African Union only 520, United Arab League 500 as well. And this will be shifted around heavily again in the next episode, because with Great Europe here, we are going to get rid of Russia, we're going to absorb it. We're also going to probably absorb Turkestan, depending on how the cohesion levels are. And we are also going to get rid of the United Arab League, and most of that is going to go into the Caliphate, one way or the other, and the rest is going into the Union here. And this is... And of course, India, we are going to continue to expand here. I have my eyes on Indonesia next, but this can wait a bit. We are not in a hurry here at all. So this is roughly the situation. And I think we need to wait about 2 years, I think, before we have proper fusion ships out. That would be my guess. With like inertial confinement reactor 3 or 2, Titan. Yeah, probably something like that.
Are cooling off.
I don't think we can be faster than 2 years here. Because science will go up, but I'm currently pushing a bit of economy. Then we need to get the tier 3 HEPs going. We have to defend still. Yeah, I think it will be a bit. Currently I'm focusing on getting rid of these hostile claims that I still have sometimes, like Hagetia here. For that purpose I am doing some things here. There are the other colony cores, which I can now, between episodes, build up properly, expand into a bit more science and research bonuses. That will help us. So here the African Union is going to, for example, grant independence to the... Yeah, how it's called? That's the good question. It's one of the Somalias, I guess. Let's see. Where are you, Hagetia? Hagetia here. It's Somalia, no, Somaliland. Okay, Somaliland. There you go. So getting rid of this claim. I'm going to reconquer it in a second. But yeah, that's the idea of it. So now it's no longer hostile, we can conquer it. And for that I'm going to use the Caliphate, because we can afford to just bite the cohesion penalty later on, and then we can get instead cohesion here by getting called into a war and honoring the alliance. That's the general idea of it. We can also do the same down here with Gaborone, where we can release... I have no idea how it's called. Botswana. We can release here. So we're going to do these two to get rid of some hostile claims, because we are going to annex a bit of the Arab League with Arabia attached to it, like this bit here, so that we can transfer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 economic modifiers to the African Union for a bit of a penalty in regards to cohesion and so on. But that would boost up our economy priority massively here, which will therefore help us getting higher production in regards to IP and knowledge output sooner. And of course we're also going to transfer this one to the African Union as soon as possible, but currently we do have a cooldown here. Right, yes. And therefore this will all change massively in the next episode. Yeah, so leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next one, where we're going to continue building up science. This will go up now pretty much every episode by a significant chunk. And we are going to go into the end game really soon now. But by the way, the aliens, they are escalating hard. 223 ships now. They're building fleets everywhere, which they're going to send out somewhere. Like this fleet is coming in, but they will get larger now. The biggest one we have fought was 11 ships, but I will expect there will be 20 to 25 fleets soon. So these will be nice fights that we can anticipate on the horizon, or rather in the next episodes. Yeah, see you then.